Hello, everyone. It is our second live with Shelley of day one. I can't wait to get stuck into this Q&A with you. It's been such a great day already seeing all of you getting to grips with discovering who your ideal clients are. And so great. It's the first day of the challenge. So I'm so excited to see how you progress over the next 5 days. We have so much lined up for you over the next 5 days. Of course, you are going to learn how to start generating leads and clients through LinkedIn in just 5 days and one simple task a day. So if you're just joining me, say hi and let me know that you're here. And of course, please give StreamYard permission to see your name. Just streamyard.com/Facebook. That way I can see you when you comment, because I am streaming live from StreamYard into my Facebook group. So if you're just joining me, say hi. Let me know you're here. We've got a very fun, packed Q&A session lined up. I can see that obviously lots of people are just joining us. So we're going to give it a moment for everyone to be able to access this live and to find me live in the Facebook group. So say hi if you're just joining us. Welcome, lovely Rory, welcome to you. My amazing Heather is one of my ambassadors, has been supporting you this week in the challenge. Welcome, Heather. Hello to you as well. Laurie, welcome to you. Good to see you here. Hello to you. If I can't see your name, could you just give StreamYard permission to see your name? It's just streamyard.com/Facebook. That would be great. Sonal, good to see you back. Welcome. Afshin, good to see you back as well. Welcome. Sue, welcome to you. Good to see you here. Welcome to all of you guys. Again, I can't see your names. So if you can just give StreamYard permission to see your names, just streamyard.com/Facebook. Lisa, hello, welcome. You just need the link for the group, and then if you're trying to find me live, you can find me live. Obviously, in the emails, we pop in a direct link to the daily task post. So in the email, you get a direct link to the daily task post of that day to make it easy for you to find it. When I go live, I'm live in the group. If you just pop into the group, you can then just look at the top of your news feed and you'll see me go live in the group, or you can just click refresh if you don't see me live. Wendy, welcome to you. Sierra, welcome. Good to have you here. Hello. Yeah, welcome to all of you guys. Wadia, congratulations again on being our most engaged participant of day one. Well done. Good to see you back. Amazing. Yvonne, welcome to you as well. Paila, welcome. Good to have you here. Nicola, welcome. Good to see you. Lisa, hello, welcome. So if you're just joining us, say hi. Let me know you're here. So excited. We're going to dive into today's live Q&A session. It's going to be awesome. And we've got a packed session. If you weren't here on the earlier session, we heard from Connor. And Connor has grown his business in 3.25 years. He has grown from zero, from scratch, through to, wait for this, he's made $750,000 in the first 3 months of this year. So he's on track for multiple 7 figures this year. And been a pleasure to work with him and see him grow. But in just 3.25 years, he's gone from zero to multiple 7 figures. Phenomenal, phenomenal, so exciting. So if you didn't get to see that interview, then you can always watch the replay from our daily task, our Q&A one. You'll be able to watch the replay in the group later, but stay tuned for this one first, all right? Amazing. Yogesh, welcome to you. Good to see you here. I can see your name. Fantastic. Sue, welcome to you. And welcome to you as well. And again, if I can't see your name, if you can just give StreamYard permission to see your name, it's just streamyard.com/Facebook. That would be fantastic. Michelle, hello, welcome. Amazing. Okay, so what we're going to be doing on this live Q&A is I'm going to be answering all of your questions that you've been posted on today's daily task. So we'll be diving into that. And of course, just to give you a bit of a structure for the next week, basically, I will be going live every day at the same times. So 6 p.m. UK and then 9 p.m. UK. I'll be going live every single day. And on every live Q&A, it'll be an opportunity for you to get your questions answered about that day's daily task. These sessions are going to be so important because they're going to really give you that opportunity to dive deep into understanding LinkedIn so that you can start generating leads and clients through LinkedIn. So it's a really good idea to make sure you've got them penciled into your calendar so that you have that time allotted to be able to make it. Now in PT time zone, that is 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. In ET time zone, I'm going live at 2 p.m. and again at 5 p.m. If you're on CET in Europe, then we're live at 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. And if you're here in the UK, it's 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. Okay, so just make sure you've got the times blocked out for all the live Q&A sessions. And of course, check out the daily task post each day, because over the next 5 days, you're going to learn the formula that you need in order to be able to start generating leads and clients through LinkedIn. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I am going to bring on a very special guest, because what I want is for you to start understanding how you can start getting results through LinkedIn and grow your business through harnessing my formula. So in order to help you get to grips with that, I'm going to bring on a very special guest so that she can talk to you about how she's grown her business using LinkedIn and the different steps she went through in order to make that happen. So let's bring her on. I'm not going to say any more. I'm going to bring her on and you're going to get to hear her amazing story. So let's go ahead. Hello, Holly. How are you?
I'm great, Shelley. How are you today?
Very good. I'm delighted to have you here.
Thank you.
So, I would love you to tell everyone a little bit about yourself and your business.
Yeah, Shelley. Well, my name is Holly Bradish Lane, and I have a health coaching business. And I'm a DNA-based health coach, actually. And I create personalized health plans for my clients through their genetic makeup. And basically, I analyze their DNA and I tailor a nutrition as well as an exercise program specifically to their recommendations so that they have basically an optimized journey toward not only reaching their ideal body weight, but toward whole being as well. So, and I just got to say, Shelley, it's been 18 months since I entered your program. That's when I went in initially. And I know there isn't a day that goes by where I don't actually reach up and look over the pond toward your way and show my appreciation for everything I've learned during this journey. So I so much appreciate your work.
Oh, thank you. Well, it's been a pleasure working with you. And, what I love is that you have a very unique USP in the way that you help people with weight loss. Because, the DNA-based weight loss, it's really, I'd never heard of it until I met you. And it's a really great way to really get to a heart of what's going to help people with weight loss. And I know you had your own journey as well. I don't know if you wanted to share a little bit about what made you so passionate about doing this work.
Yeah, I actually, at one point in my life, I was pretty unhealthy. I had a extremely stressful job. I had a lot of inflammation throughout my body. I ended up gaining way more weight than I ever dreamed that I could. And a lot of it was based on just the environment that I was in and the stress that I had in my life. And so I got to a point where I started having some really unhealthy kind of like testing done with my primary care physician. I was looking down a cancer diagnosis, very scary. And I literally just kind of had to change my focus on what I was doing with myself. And I reached inside and I just kind of created my own health and well-being plan. I ended up losing lots of weight, had major knee surgeries from all of the kind of the inflammation that I had in my body. And I came out a victor on the other end. And now my passion is really to help other people do the same. And if I had had my own DNA testing done back then, and quite honestly, this technology has only been around for the last few years, so I couldn't have had it. but it would have made my journey so much easier. And so now that's why I really just focus on helping other people achieve their optimal well-being as well.
Oh, fantastic. Now, I'd love you to share a bit about what you were struggling with that made you decide to get some support, because I know it wasn't always super clear that you were going to be a DNA health coach, crazily enough, considering your story and your passion. I know that actually that, it wasn't super clear. So I'd love you to just share what you were struggling with that made you reach out for some support.
Yeah, I was struggling with getting clients. I mean, I opened the doors. I hung a shingle out for my business way back in 2018 as a health coach. And back then, I mean, in a 2-year period, 2.5-year period, I had like 2 clients during that whole period of time. And I literally was at the point where I was going to say, I cannot continue to keep paying money for a website, keep doing what I'm doing without having any clients. And I stumbled upon you through, actually, I think it was a Facebook ad. And the next thing I knew it, I was in one of these challenges, just like everyone who's here today. And it honestly has just, it resurrected my whole business. I think for me, what I was struggling most with, besides having no clients, was having a really clear niche, knowing who that perfect client, who my avatar really was. And so with your program, that's really upfront. That's one of the things that it's very simple, the process to get a clear niche. And once you have that and you understand why you want to serve that patient or client population, then it just gives you the confidence and the ability to just plow forward with what you know you're supposed to be doing.
Wow. So you'd struggled for like 2.5 years before we met.
Or longer, even a little longer.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
With trying to find your niche, and you'd had like just a couple of clients during that period. I mean, to have stayed like still trying to make it work during such a long period, I know that it might have been really kind of easy just to say, I can't, financially, for any other reason, I can't keep going with this. So it's incredible that you persevered, that you kept going. And I know that when you came on the challenge, something happened for you. So when you were actually on the LinkedIn challenge before you joined my program, you had a kind of light bulb moment, really, around how you saw where you were going to be, what was going to happen.
Yes, I did. So I actually, it was before the middle of day 2 of the challenge. I honestly knew that I was going to jump in and make sure that I had you as my coach, regardless of what it took, And so with that said, I even had, it was almost like I said to myself, at one point, it was my first challenge with you. I was so fascinated with what everyone was saying. And I said to myself inside, I said, one day I'm going to be on the other end of this camera, and Shelley is going to be interviewing me about how effective and how well my program did. And it was a mindset kind of shift from the beginning that I knew that that's what would happen. And look, Shelley, we've done this a couple of times now because it was 18 months ago. And I still continue even today to have like great strides forward with my business. I mean, it just continues to grow. So
I love it. So the major thing you were struggling with was really around the niche and, that kind of what I call a business foundations piece. This is like those key decisions that it's just impossible to track clients if you can't get this right. So that was the foundation piece.
Yes.
Tell everyone a little bit about the steps that you went through. Like, what were the steps in my 7-step formula that you went through that then led you to start generating those leads and clients through LinkedIn?
Yeah. So besides the determining my niche, I think the next most important piece of the program for me was crafting a signature offering and knowing what type of a really a price to put on that offering. So I got my niche clear. I was like, I know who I need to work with. This is how I need to do it. And now let's put that program together, put it on paper so that we can move forward. That was a significant step for me. And then the next part, I think, that was most impactful for me was the ability to understand how to convert sales during a strategy call. So I had never really been a marketer. I worked in healthcare leadership for a lot of years before now. And I really was not used to just pushing myself out there and trying to sell a product. And so that portion of the program, which specifically gave me the idea about what do I do when somebody kind of pushes up walls saying that, this is my barrier for paying for a coach, or I don't have the time. Just understanding to plan beforehand about what it is that I should say to that person was so important to me. As a matter of fact, I'm getting so good at converting during these strategy calls. I've done the last 8 or 9 of them that I've done have all converted to clients, to one-to-one clients.
One-on-one sell conversion. That's amazing.
Yeah. And I think once you get such a clear understanding about how to deal with any kind of a kind of like a stopping block that someone might have to reaching out and reaching their own potential, the minute you understand what to say, it just makes it so much easier than to convince someone else that they need to go ahead and
I know that you've basically tripled your prices as well. Like
I did.
Because I saw your recent up and I was like, go Holly. I love it. You're at the 4K mark now with your offering. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
And closing one-on-one, like everyone that's coming to you, you're closing them for that.
Yeah. And recently, I've gotten so busy, I can't really take more one-on-one clients. I was just at the point where I just didn't have enough time to serve them all the way I like to serve them.
You said it. I got so busy, I just can't take any more one-on-one clients.
I got it.
It's a big problem.
It is a big problem. But my goal, though, is really to help as many people that I possibly can. My passion is helping the people to live longer, healthier lives. And so without being able to help more people, I'm limiting my one-to-one clients. And so I've recently just completely created a hybrid program that is a kind of a one-to-one / group program that's over a 12-month period. And the last person that I met with on a strategy call, she actually, I was trying to convince her to go to the hybrid program, which is a lower price. And she insisted upon coming on one-to-one. So I'm just thrilled at what you've offered me, what you've given me, really.
It's so great. And of course, now that you have a hybrid program, your one-on-one can double in price. So, this is how we do it. We have the group program at like what the old one-on-one price was, and then you increase your one-on-one because that's where you're at now. And I just love it. It's so great to hear that.
Yeah, thank you.
For everyone listening, there's been a couple of questions come in. Now, I'm going to take a risk with just dropping in this one, Holly, because it's the kind of question that you're never meant to ask. But I think you'll be okay with it if I ask it. We've had someone say, I'm a bit older, so I'm not sure about, me being able to turn things around. It's a bit of a challenge to turn things around with my business, not having any clients. Can I get you to say something positive around that? But I'm also like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm asking that question. But
no, I totally
for your age, right?
I totally understand where that person and that question is coming from. And I will say that you're never too old to be able to do what you're passionate about doing. And so I would just say to jump in and not use that not use your age as really a limiting belief for your mind, because we all have different limiting beliefs, and that is a limiter just like anything else. And I mean, I'm 61 years old, and I'm healthier now. I have more energy. I'm so much happier with my life because of the direction that my business is going and how I'm able to impact other people's lives. So it is never too old. If you have something that you can offer, then you do it.
Yeah. And I would say the number of clients that I have had in their 60s, 70s, and 80s in the last year, it's like tripled. I have lots of clients in their 60s, 70s, and 80s. I mean, and who are like really advancing with their businesses. And some of them are completely new from scratch. Some of them, they went into retirement and they decided they were bored and they've come back and they want me to help resurrect their businesses. So like it doesn't really matter what age you are at all.
It doesn't. And think about when you're in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, how much learned knowledge you have and how much more you have to offer a client than if you were someone in your 20s or 30s. So look at it that way, how valuable all of those years of experience are.
Absolutely. I love that. So we just went off track a little bit to include that question. I felt that was really important for Linda, who was just asking about that. So also, okay, so how quickly, can you give people an idea of how quick was it for you to start generating leads and appointments through LinkedIn? Because, that's the question I get asked a lot. Like, can you just tell people a little bit about how that process happened?
Sure. Yeah, I will. And I'll just say to start off, when I joined your program, Shelley, about 18 months ago, I literally had been on LinkedIn for about 7 years as a healthcare professional. I had literally spent no time on the platform other than maybe when I needed to find a new job, I'd go on there every once in a while. So I had about 70 connections when I joined LinkedIn Quality Leads Formula. And at this point, because I followed your process, your prescriptiveness of your process, I'm well over 3,500 connections. And I will just say that once you start to get into that kind of the groove of following the process, doing the work, not questioning it, that you will really start to pick up momentum. From a program perspective, within about 3 months, Shelley, I believe it was about 3 months, I had gone from no clients in such a long time to 12 one-to-one clients in varying levels within 3 months. And that was even before really the end of the modules. So, I mean, if you're willing to jump in there and be brave and just kind of say, I'm going to do exactly what Shelley tells me to do, you will be successful, because Shelley has the prescriptive program dialed into the point that if you follow it, it's going to work.
Yeah.
So.
And I love that. And you're so good at actually taking that action. That thing that I say about focus on the behaviors and a consistent action, and the results will take care of themselves. You absolutely went with it. You just kept doing the actions. And then, in 3 months, you fully booked with clients, 12 one-to-one clients, and you hadn't even finished applying everything. Like, do you know what I mean? That's amazing. Like, you were still on the program. So this is what happens. You just got to be consistent with taking those actions. So well done. It's phenomenal.
Yes.
It's so exciting.
Yes. Yeah. And I'll just say, though, the tools that you give your clients, Shelley, to help them to be able to just take those steps and follow through with the process just makes it so much easier. I mean, you're continuously giving feedback to anyone that asks questions during your Q&A sessions. You just are so supportive, and you help to make people successful because you make them feel comfortable with what you're doing. And I also would just say that even beyond what the LinkedIn Quality Leads formula looks like from a kind of a 1,000-foot view, you offer so much more in terms of how to be an effective leader, as well as some of the more of the the kind of business side of things. And so your offering is so much more than what it looks like even on paper, that helps to support your clients.
Yeah. I mean, that, like you've talked about the sales piece, you've talked about the business foundations piece. LinkedIn is like part of the process, but it's one part. We try and make sure that the program, or I'm always very keen that it's a one-stop shop. The formula covers everything you need in order to generate those leads and clients. The LinkedIn piece is just a part of that. There is also the selling piece. There's the business foundations, and those are important parts of the process to growing the business.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So my final question for you, Holly, what would the cost have been to you if you hadn't said yes to yourself and got the support you needed?
Yeah, I mean, the cost would have been so great. And the way I look at it, Shelley, is the cost wasn't so much a personal cost to me, but what I think about is when I meet with those clients, how I'm changing their life for the better. I mean, most of what I'm doing is helping people to achieve their ideal body weight. And so they develop not only healthy habits, but they extend the years to their life. They bring down their body mass index. I mean, there's so many good things that happen to my clients. But for me, I mean, I was literally at the point where I was gonna not continue with my business. I mean, I had worked on it for such a long time on my own, and I would have let it go. And I don't know, you may not know this, but just a couple of weeks ago on LinkedIn, one thing happened to me that I kind of thought, I have no idea how this happened, but it's Shelley that helped this happen as well. And quite a few, right, really at the beginning of my program, I put a sticky note on my desk at home, and the sticky note said on it, I am a thought leader, which obviously I wasn't a thought leader because I didn't even know who I was talking to or who to think about. But a couple of weeks ago on LinkedIn, I don't know how it happened. It was kind of out of the blue, but I had a kind of a new line show up on my profile that said that I'm a top healthcare management voice. And I thought, oh my goodness. So how does that happen? And how did I make that sticky note that said I'm a thought leader actually come about? And it's just happens though. I mean, when you're passionate about what you're doing and you have a good guide, a good coach to help you get there, that's what happens. So,
and you're consistent. So the reason why you got that is because you've been consistent with posting great content on key topics that matter to your audience, and you've sufficiently done the right kind of topics. So that's in the program in module 8. We have all about the how to come up with ideas for topics for content on your specific specialism, and you've been doing that consistently, and LinkedIn's rewarding you for it as a top voice. And so the reason you got that badge is because you have consistently posted content, and when it gets that engagement as well, you're consistent with it, plus it's getting engagement. That's when LinkedIn will give you that badge. So yes, you are a thought leader. Yes.
Thank you. And anybody can do it. If I did it, anyone can do it, really.
Yeah, and I love that you didn't know how it came about, because I had to have a training on how to get the top voice badge, but you've been doing all the actions that lead you to get it. Even, I love that you went from, this is what I want to be, and wrote it on a Post-it note, like I am a thought leader, and then just took the actions that would lead you there, even though you didn't know that was going to take you there. I love that. That's brilliant. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you, Shelley.
So I'm so pleased for you, Holly, and I'm sure we're going to have lots of great comments, because it's been really inspiring for people to hear your story. But congratulations, it's so great, and what you're doing with clients is priceless. That's the bit that touches me. I'm so glad that you're here doing this work, because for the people that you're helping, you're potentially saving their lives. That is ultimately, the huge impact that you're making. So thank you for being here, Holly, and thank you for keeping going and trusting. I'm so pleased you didn't give up, and you you decided to join my program and we got to get you out there. So well done.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for being here. Bye for now.
Okay, bye. Thank you.
Just before we go, I need to tell everyone how they can get in touch with you, Holly. I nearly forgot about that. Right.
Oh,
Suddenly
yeah.
I was thinking I missed something there. So just tell everyone a little bit about how they can get hold of you, Holly.
Yeah, you can certainly find me on LinkedIn. Just my name, Holly Bradish Lane, and I have a website as well. It's called Iron Crucible Health. You can jump there. Either way, you can reach out to me, and I'm happy to connect. And if anybody out there, I know I've offered this before, and I probably Shelley thinks don't offer that. But if anybody has any questions that you'd like to ask me personally about my experience with Shelley's program, I am so happy to share my perspective and to help in any way. So,
oh, thank you. That's really
you're
kind.
welcome.
That's really kind. So look, definitely people take that up if you want to have a chat with Holly. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much,
Okay.
Holly. Bye for
Thank
now.
you. Bye-bye.
Wow. So I love that. I think Holly shared so many golden nuggets there in that interview. I'd love to just hear or see in the comments, what did you find inspiring hearing Holly talk? What was it that spoke to you? What golden nugget are you taking away from what Holly said about what she did that has led to her getting the results? You know, this is phenomenal. She's tripled her price point. She got fully booked with 12 clients within 12 weeks. And since then, over the last 18 months, she's tripled her price point and she's still booking clients, like one-on-one conversion rate. She's just had 9 new clients sign up with her, and she's now launched a group program. So it's fantastic. In a year and a half, it's amazing to see what has happened for her. So I would love to just get a sense of what really spoke to you. What did you find inspiring, and what golden nuggets are you taking away? So Wadia is saying, thank you so much for sharing your journey, Holly. Oh, thank you, Wadia. That's so awesome. Amazing. Let's just... Yeah, Heather is saying, best problem to have, way to go, Holly Bradish Lane. Afshin is saying, thank you for sharing your success story, Holly. What a beautiful journey. Yeah, Lisa's saying, your happiness radiates from you, Holly. It's wonderful to see. Totally true. Absolutely. Yeah, someone else who relates to this. You've just retired from teaching and your husband was asking why you wanted to start this at 56 years old. 56 is not, this is like the normal point for a transition with your career. This is about creating the next phase of your journey, and how you want to live it. So this is the perfect time to be making this transition. It's wonderful. Yeah, I think it's perfect. I have lots of retirement businesses that I want to do in my head. I have many different ones. I'm always coming up with new ideas for businesses all the time. And I love helping other people and collaborating with people on their businesses as well. So outside of LinkedIn, I do a lot of other work with other clients with different kinds of areas I help them with for their businesses. So, I just think this is something that if it's, there's something you're passionate about, something you want to do, something you want to make a difference to, it doesn't matter what your age is. So I love that. And Linda's saying, I'm almost 17. I'm excited to share my knowledge. Yes, that's what I want to hear. Absolutely. There is a super great vibe in this group for sure. Yeah, and you'll just see it grow over the 5 days. Honestly, guys, this is only day 1. You're going to just, by day 5, you'll be in the zone and a positive mindset for creating what you want. Yeah, because that's what it's all about. This is what the course is. It's not just about LinkedIn. It's also about getting into that space where you really believe you can create what you want to create in your life and in your business. Amazing. Amazing. Okay. Wow. Kathleen is saying, Shelley and Holly, I love that you serve with authenticity and compassion. So inspiring. Thank you. Love that. Amazing. Wow, all these great, yeah, so many inspiring moments. Maria's saying so many inspiring moments. I love it. Yeah, Yvonne said this, age is a limiting belief. Exactly. Yeah, Nicola's saying I'm a similar age and it gives me hope. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, Afshin is taking how committed she was to continue work even after 2.5 years of struggle. And I can so relate to the struggle part. Amazing. Yeah, Michelle says, I love the sincerity with which Holly speaks about you. Yeah, I love that too. She's very kind. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. For me, like the reason I do this is because I just adore helping people to grow these businesses that then they can get out there and do work that they want to do and make the changes to their lifestyle that they really want, whilst also making huge impacts on the people that they're helping. It doesn't matter what your business is, if you do it with soul, it's going to make a powerful difference. And that's really the key here. I can help many more people by helping them get their businesses off the ground than I could as a psychotherapist. So that's why I do this. Otherwise, I'd be a psychotherapist. But this is a way that I can actually help many, many more people. So love it. Okay, guys, let's dive into answering some of your questions. I'm just kind of conscious about wanting to make sure we get into there. But I just also want to thank you for being willing to listen to my guests talk about their journey, because what I'm trying to do is like help you hear the formula that is going to lead you to generate leads and clients through LinkedIn. And I think that, yes, I can talk to you about it. Yes, you're going to get it in a daily tasks and you're going to be implementing those tasks. And so you're actually going to get an experience of it. But when you keep hearing how my guests, they applied it to their business and what's happened, that not only inspires you, but it just keeps like kind of filtering in about what it is that you need to do in order to make this work for you. And the really important piece about what Holly is saying, that consistency with taking action. This is a theme you're going to hear again and again. You need to just focus on taking the actions, following the formula, doing the actions that I tell you to do, and the results will take care of themselves. And this is a common theme. But most of us, what happens is if we're not getting the results in the time frame that we expect to see them in, which is often quite short, this is what I notice. If we're not getting the results in the time frame we expect to see them in, we kind of stop, and then we might go and look for another shiny object and start trying to do that thing, and then look for another one. So we often don't give it the time to actually get the results that we want to get. And this is what marketing is about. It's about building your audience. And on LinkedIn, it's about connecting with your ideal clients, building that audience, and giving them that time to see you show up repeatedly so that they build that trust, and then they contact you wanting to work with you, or you reach out to them with your direct messages and they just, say, yes, let's have a call. One of those two ways, right? But it's really important that you just focus on taking those actions. And that's what you're hearing from a lot of my guests, which is what I want you to get that excitement about, because you just need the formula. The formula works. You just need to apply it. That's the kind of key element here. And you'll see what happens in just 5 days. You could start generating leads and clients even just in the 5 days of this challenge. And that's what's happened for a lot of my clients. That's exactly what has happened for them. Okay, let's dive into your questions. So Heidi, just let me know if you can let me know where I should start with answering the questions. I can see. So, okay, perfect. So Suzanne has asked a question. She said, I am a leadership coach for women in tech, and I have 30 years in the industry as my USP. I've focused my LinkedIn profile and marketing on B2B or B2C, sorry, but I'm wanting to pivot to B2B. So I did today's exercise based on B2B client. My question is about how I manage my LinkedIn profile and posts to balance between both the B2C client and the B2B client. So tomorrow we're going to be spending our time on your LinkedIn profile and creating your headline, Susan. So you're going to learn a lot more about that tomorrow. But to give you a little bit of insight now, what I would say to you is that with what you do as your leadership coach for women in tech, of course, you can speak to both audiences. So you just want to do a bit of a mixture of posts in terms of your content. Some posts are directly to the end user and, to the women in tech that, you're reaching out to. And then other posts can be more for like the HRD, the maybe even like the senior leader, maybe the COO or COO often, and the HRD. Some of your posts can be more about like, how do you make sure that you are helping your leaders in order to be able to make an impact in their role quickly, and that type of post. So you just divide up your content. Okay, so some of it is towards B2B, some of it is towards B2C. What I would say in terms of your LinkedIn profile is you want to address both, right? And you can have a paragraph that is focused on the decision makers in corporate and talking to them about their pain points and how you help them. And you can have a paragraph that's focused on the individual professional, so that female in tech that you want to work with. Now, I would also recommend that what you should be doing is building a network of women for women in tech. One of my clients has a network for women in tech already, but you definitely want to be building a network, create like an online networking group for these women in tech. That's going to be a great way for them to start getting to know you. You can actually use LinkedIn in order to grow that network. And also start hosting these online events or networking events for these women in tech. And then, of course, that can bring you clients. It's something I've done. I've had networking groups for years. I haven't got one at the moment, but for years I've had different online networking groups and also face-to-face networking groups. And that's a great way of generating clients. So I would recommend that you work a few different strategies there. Okay. And also, when you lead a networking group for women in tech, that can also give you a bit of leverage in terms of getting into the corporates as well. Because if you have that big network, that can be a kind of a recruitment tool as well, because then they can be wanting to connect with your network to find people to fill certain positions that they have available. So there's a lot of different elements that you can leverage back and forth. Okay, so Suzanne, hopefully that helped answer your question. I just want to check in. Heidi, if you can just let me know which of the people are on the line. Oh, perfect. She's just done exactly what I was thinking. I was saying, can you just give me the questions of people who are actually here on the live so I make sure I answer them? That's awesome. Okay, so Rory would like some feedback on my niche for working with LinkedIn would be great. He's a mental fitness coaching, creative leadership training, and frameworks to help neurodiverse creative professionals shift and navigate scatter, perfectionism, procrastination, and hypersensitivities towards owning their own thoughts, routines, and prosperity by channeling their focus, energy, and brilliance towards developing and producing innovative, purpose-aligned creative projects that flourish and inspire a diverse world. This all sounds amazing. I would say probably, if in terms of if this is a message, it's there's a lot of words in there. Okay, so we probably want to narrow it down a little bit with the number of words. I'm just going to see whether I can kind of get to the core element. Okay, so basically what it is, Rory, is that you are working with neurodiverse creative professionals and you're helping them to be able to overcome their mindset issues that are holding them back from being a really phenomenal leader, okay, to being able to become, fulfill their full potential in their professional role. And I love the fact that you say, purpose-aligned creative projects, etc. But we can just shortening it just so that it's a little clearer. Now, if we think about the effectiveness of targeting this niche, a lot of creative professionals probably are neurodiverse because a lot of creative people are maybe perhaps more neurodiverse. Not everyone who is neurodiverse necessarily knows that they are neurodiverse or has had that diagnosis as well. So that is also a factor. So one of the things you can do is to sort of perhaps just say that you are the leadership and mental fitness coach for creative professionals, helping empower you to fulfill your full potential. And then you can say specializing in especially neurodiverse creative professionals. That might help you to just be a little bit broader to attract more clients more easily. But at the same time, to be honest, it's just about like making sure that your audience really understands the words you're using to describe them, because a lot of them might not even know that they're neurodiverse. But if you talk about the mindset challenges that they are struggling with, the perfectionism, the scattered thoughts, the procrastination, a lot of them are going to connect with that. So that would be my thinking, that you don't necessarily need the word neurodiverse in the core messaging, and that actually then you could become more a stronger thought leader. Okay, so I'm broadening your niche slightly, but actually it's not really, in reality, it's not broadening it, but it's just that will allow you to be a stronger leader, okay, in the market, because you can really take over. It's enough of a niche having creative professionals that you're a mindset coach and mindset and leadership coach for creative professionals. That's kind of enough of a niche, in my opinion. And then you can say you specialize in working with those creative professionals who are neurodiverse. And if you're not sure what neurodiverse is, and then you can educate them about what that is. And you can talk to them more about the problems that they experience with their mindset, those mindset issues, because they're probably more aware of those issues. Okay. So for instance, I know so many people who have never been diagnosed with ADHD who have ADHD. Like through my family and friends, I know so many people, but they've never had a formal diagnosis, So my sister-in-law laughs when she says, I think I have ADHD. And I'm like, yes, yeah. And she's like, Shelley, you don't need to keep nodding. I'm like, yeah, you do. You definitely have ADHD. We know that she has, but she's never been diagnosed, and she's 55. So, that's what I mean about like not really needing the neurodiverse piece to be in there in this scenario, because you have already got a strong enough, narrow enough niche by saying that you're the leadership and mental fitness coach for creative professionals. That's focused enough. So just let me know, Rory, if you feel like that works for you. Of course, later into the information, you can talk about neurodiversity and explain what that is and why that affects a lot of creative professionals and But I wouldn't necessarily have it in the headline, which is what you're working on tomorrow. Amazing. I'm glad that was helpful, Rory. That's awesome. Yeah, perfect. That's fine, Shannon. I totally understand. Like, as a parent of neurodiverse kids, I totally understand that. But the thing is that you know that, whereas when we're going out on LinkedIn, a lot of the adults don't necessarily know that they are neurodiverse, but they're going to know that they have those mindset issues that Rory is talking about, and he can educate them about neurodiversity afterwards. So that's the thing. So all I'm saying is, like, with the messaging, start like at this level, but then educate them about neurodiversity afterwards. That I think is just what's going to be most effective, especially because the niche is already quite narrowed, with it being for mindset and leadership for creative professionals. That's already narrowing it versus where it could be. And that's sufficient, because we want to make sure Rory picks up enough clients immediately, right, within a short time frame, rather than if we go too narrow, like, because people don't necessarily recognize that they are neurodiverse, that's going to be a stumbling block to Rory picking up those clients. We don't want that, and he can educate people about what neurodiversity is once he's got their attention. So that's my thinking. So it's a different scenario where it's your kids versus you as an adult, in my opinion. Now, I have there are other people and clients I've had who only work with ADHD adults, and it is perfect to go out there and say, hey, I can help you if you're an adult with ADHD, and that can be a perfect niche. But with Rory's case, because he's already closing it in with the creative professionals, if we also add the neurodiverse bit, we're actually narrowing it a little too far. So it's like, just, there's a lot of different factors we need to consider about making sure that the niche is narrow, but it's not too narrow. Okay, awesome. Right, let's dive into the next piece. Okay, so let's see. Mike Stevens is asking, is Sales Navigator needed? And if so, will there be a training on this? So you don't need Sales Navigator for this live challenge. The 5-day challenge is all done in the free version of LinkedIn. So no, you don't need to use Sales Navigator for this. Amazing. Crystal is saying, I'm struggling to pin down my ideal client because I'm not sure on my niche. I'm in QS and I've maxed out my one-on-one and fees. Okay, so what I would say to you, Crystal, is if you can just share a little bit more information, that would be really helpful. Tell me a little bit more about your business, and you've maxed out on your one-on-one and fees, so you've maxed out on your one-on-one clients. Is that just give me a little bit more information? That'd be really helpful. Perfect. So Sierra is saying, I'm a realtor and lender looking to aim to higher end clients instead of affordable housing clients. Should I be using 2 different accounts for this? Doris said you would answer as she was on the first level. Yes, of course I will answer this question. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so I take it that you're already using LinkedIn then to attract affordable housing clients, and you're now wanting to get other clients. So ideally, we don't really want to have multiple accounts because that's against LinkedIn's T's and C's. We ideally want to make sure that we use just one profile. I'm curious about, I'm curious about I'm curious about whether or not we could be able to attract both clients through one profile. I think that might be a little bit difficult because they're very different audiences. Yeah, I think you may need to use two accounts, even though it's not really the ideal situation because the way you're pitching it is very different. The other alternative would be maybe getting the affordable housing clients through a different medium other than LinkedIn. If you can get them coming to you through a different medium, then you can just free up your LinkedIn account to attract the more higher end clients, would be a suggestion there. But yeah, that's a choice for you to make. Okay, so you're just starting, you haven't really used LinkedIn, you're just starting to use it. So if you're just starting to use it, and 2 different accounts more so, should I use lender and realtor on the same account? So if you're just starting to use it, I would probably start by targeting the higher end audience through LinkedIn and focusing on them, get that working, and then you could start attracting the affordable housing clients, but maybe do that through a different medium, because I imagine that there are other ways of attracting those clients. That would be probably the way I would approach it. Because the difficulty is that we can't really target more than one audience at one time. So you're going, you'd be best off building the audience with the audience that is in a way that's going to be most profitable for you initially, because that's going to then help you to be able to help other people later. But if you're not making enough revenue from the business, it's going to be difficult to be able to continue in business successfully and help more people. So I would say focus on the higher end audience, and with LinkedIn, see if there are other ways of attracting the clients for the affordable housing other than using your LinkedIn account, and take that approach. Okay, perfect. I'm glad that was helpful. Okay, so Doris asked a question. She said, I've got 2 streams of income, but only focused on one for now. Should I focus on both? Also, I had a LinkedIn page for Coach Ed with logo. They suspended me and asked for a profile pic. Other organizations use the logo. What is the best approach? I'm on a team and serve as administrator for content. Okay. So it sounds like, I would focus on, again, this is the issue, right? With LinkedIn, we can really only target one audience at a time, because what we want to do, whilst we can present ourselves as working with more than one audience, when we're actually starting to reach out to our ideal clients on LinkedIn, we're starting to connect with them, grow that audience, send them direct messages. In order to know whether our efforts are working, we need to just work on one audience at a time so that we can evaluate how effectively we're targeting that audience. So I would therefore focus on one of your audiences, on, which I assume would be one stream of income, rather than trying to focus on both of them. Okay. And to answer the question about, you had a LinkedIn page for Coach Ed with the logo and they suspended me but asked for the profile pic. What I would say is that you should be using your LinkedIn profile for you as a person, not as a company. If you want to have a page for your company, make sure that's a company page rather than your profile. Okay, and that might be, if that was the scenario, that might be why you got asked for a profile pic. Quite often what LinkedIn will do is, if they have any kind of concern about your account, they'll ask you to verify your account by submitting your passport details or some sort of documentation with a picture of you so that they can verify who you are. Yeah, so that's my answer on that. I'm just going to check. Doris, is this you responding or is that someone else? Maybe that's someone else. Okay. But yeah, Heidi, maybe you can let me know if Doris is on the call and if she's responding. Yeah, so Blanca is asking, should we have a company profile even if we work under our name? So I would have a company page on LinkedIn, even if you are doing your work under your own name. But the company page, you don't need to do much with it if you're a solopreneur. Okay, you just have it so that it goes against your work experience entry. You can have that nice logo picture next door to your work experience entry on your personal profile. Okay. Okay, so Heidi's saying Doris isn't on the call. Okay, perfect. Okay, so just seeing another question. I've decided LinkedIn is just going to focus on attracting corporate clients, whereas I will keep using Instagram and Facebook for potential brides, grooms, and members of the public for private events. So that sounds a really good idea, because then you've got different platforms where you're pulling your audiences through. And I think, Facebook is perfect for attracting brides and grooms and members of the public for private events. Yeah, that totally makes sense. I mean, you could split it. You could always have a little piece that shows that you're also attracting, who you work with on your about section of your profile. You could have a paragraph that is targeting the potential brides and grooms and members of the public for private events. You could have a piece that's directed at them, as well as the piece that's more focused on the corporate clients, just so that if you get people coming through, they know that they can come through that stream for you as well. But yeah, do most of your kind of posting and everything focused on the corporate clients. That totally makes sense. Amazing. Okay, perfect. Let's just see how we're getting on. Okay, we seem to be doing pretty good with answering the questions here. Yeah, so would that be on my company page where I do a separate paragraph for each audience? So you could have a separate paragraph, you could have it on your personal profile as well. The fact that, because you could have a small paragraph that's just for the sort of individuals, but focus more of it on the corporate clients. That would be so that you've just at least got them a little bit featured there. Yeah, perfect. Good. But we're going to do more on your profile tomorrow as well. So today we're focused on your ideal clients. So tomorrow we'll be diving into the profile. Amazing. Okay, let's just see who else have we got. What are the questions? We've got a couple more questions. If anyone's got any question that I haven't answered, we've just got a couple of minutes left. So get your question in now if you've got a question you want me to answer. Alberto was asking a question: what keywords should I place in my LinkedIn profile so that search engines recognize me as a potential client? What I would say is any keywords that relate to the title of what you do. So something that your ideal clients would be searching with in order to find you. So, if you're a career coach, make sure that's in your title. If you're a consultant of some description, make sure that's in there. So just make sure there's some clear words that describe the services that you offer that people would be searching with. You can always look on Google and see what comes up when you put words into Google, because it will give you suggestions that relate to keywords that people are searching with. And of course, there are lots of different websites that focus on, giving you the search engine optimization keywords. So there's lots of RFs and lots of other websites that you can use. But the simple way to think about it is just what are the words that someone who's looking for what you do would be searching with in order to find you. And you can always pop them into LinkedIn and see what comes up and see is that relevant to what you do as well. Okay. And what kind of skills should I place on my LinkedIn to be attractive to recruiters and headhunters? Well, with LinkedIn, you can actually say that you're open to having recruiters contact you. So you can actually mark your profile as open and then tick which skills that you have in order to attract them. The other thing you want to do is look at job opportunities that, if there's particular job opportunities you're looking for, that you want a particular role, look at what the skills are that are required for that role, and then make sure that they're included in your profile. So that would be a good, and there's a skills section to your profile, so you can make sure they're listed in that section. Amazing. I think we might have actually got through all the questions. We've just got one more. Mina has asked a question. I'm in a regulated industry, which means I have to be careful what I post, especially when it's call to action. I do, however, have a library of pre-approved material I can post, and I'm allowed to post links to relevant articles, as long as they're already in the public domain. I'm not sure whether this will hinder me with regards to the challenge. I'm also B2C, so hopefully you'll be covering strategy for that in terms of DMing. So this isn't going to hinder you. It's absolutely fine. I actually have had a lot of clients in the financial services area, financial advisors, and they can't post anything themselves very easily. So, they just post the content that they get from the company that they work with. That's all been checked and verified, and they just share that, and that's absolutely fine. But yes, you can still DM through LinkedIn and grow your audience with your ideal clients. So absolutely, you're going to learn, you're going to learn everything you need in the next few days of this challenge that will help you with the B2C strategy and will be absolutely fine for you, given you have that restriction around what you can post. So yeah, this is perfect. You're in the right place. Okay. Yeah, so I wouldn't actually put the open to work frame on, to be honest. I don't think that that's, necessarily a good idea unless you are looking for a job. If you're looking for a job, that's a different scenario. But if you're a business person, I wouldn't put the open to work frame on your LinkedIn profile. There are different perspectives of recruiters around the open to work frame on LinkedIn. I have heard some recruiters really be like, let's not dismiss people when they use the open to work frame, because they are actively seeking work and we should be celebrating that. And that post went viral, did incredibly well. And he is a marketing recruiter who wrote that, and his post went viral about it. So I get his sentiment. I think that's quite important. But I understand also the concern about making yourself look too available as well, because that's also important. But there are a lot of strategies for gaining jobs, getting, whether that's contracts through recruitment agencies or whether that's a job through a recruitment agency. So there's a lot of strategies around that, which is not necessarily something I'm covering so much in this challenge, but happy to just address the odd question around it. Okay, Hannah is saying, I'm a holistic business and leadership consultant. I have two types of client: entrepreneur who wants to grow the business, and professionals who want to grow a career or start a business to have professional fulfillment. Can I target both at the same message? Okay. Okay. So you can, but it's going to be the message. You need to kind of think a little bit about how you make it work across both. Essentially, your audience is actually potentially the same person, but one's at an earlier stage than the other one. Okay, so if we start with the only thing is, the bit that's really tricky is to do the professional who wants to advance their career as a professional rather than starting a business. it's kind of difficult to bring that together with the professional who wants to career transition into business and the entrepreneur who wants to grow their business. It's kind of difficult to do all three. I would say it's much easier to go for the professional who wants to start a business, okay, and then the entrepreneur who wants to grow and scale their business. Those two are really easy to bring together and to target with the same message. So that's just something to consider, Hannah. Okay, amazing. Okay, right, cool. Wow, we've done so good. So what I would love to know is just from listening to this whole Q&A, I would love to hear, what are you taking away? What has given you an aha moment? What breakthrough have you had as you listened to maybe Holly speaking, or as you heard me answering the questions from today's daily task? I'd love to just get your sense of, what has been powerful for you? What has been helpful? What golden nuggets have you learned? What are you taking away from today? If you could just comment with what you're taking away, that would be amazing. You're so welcome, Hannah. I'm glad that was helpful. Yeah, I'd love to hear what you're taking away from this call. Wendy is saying consistency is key. Perfect. I love that. Yogesh is saying there are lots of things to do to get noticed. Yes, definitely. And to be persistent. Absolutely. It's so important. Yeah, Maria's saying, I'm amazed by how many brilliant people we have in this group. I second that, Maria. I'm totally there. I think we've got fantastic entrepreneurs here in this group. So it's so exciting to get to work with you guys. You're already making leaps and bounds on this day one on this challenge. Yeah, I'm going to go and check my about section to ensure it's corporate focused rather than all my customers. Perfect. Sierra is saying, I like to use LinkedIn for one audience and use the other platforms for a different audience. Awesome. Wadi is saying, thanks for asking all these questions I never thought I had. Yes, absolutely. Yes, there's hope on LinkedIn. I love that. There's always hope. Absolutely. And do you know what? LinkedIn, for me, LinkedIn personally was like an absolute godsend. When I shifted from Facebook to LinkedIn, it was at a real crux point in my business. And, I've told my story a few times, but my Facebook funnels had collapsed. I had been teaching Facebook funnels for 4 years, and my funnels collapsed alongside many people's funnels collapsed back in 2017, 2018. And that's when I looked around to find another platform that I felt was going to be better for me and for my clients and didn't cost any money. Like, you didn't have to spend money on advertising in order to get leads and clients. And I shifted to LinkedIn, and for 2 years was solidly just on LinkedIn, not on any other platforms, just on LinkedIn. And, it was an absolute godsend. There was no ad spend. It helped me get back out of a debt situation because I'd grown my business really rapidly and ended up with a lot of debts when the funnel collapsed because I invested in growing a team and everything. And, shifting to LinkedIn, it really, saved the business. So I'm so passionate about it because, LinkedIn is basically free. It's the platform where you get organic reach. You can actually get in front of amazing premium clients, whether they're corporates or individuals. And you can do all of this basically for free, right? And you get organic reach, so you get your posts seen. It's phenomenal. So yeah, lots of hope on LinkedIn. Linda's saying, haven't had a chance to read the challenge, so we'll come back to that. But this was helpful because Holly supported my comeback to work, and that age is nothing. Yes, I love that, Linda. I love it. Hannah's saying, I love this and consistency for me. Awesome. Rory's saying, simple, clear focus for the next stage. I love that. Awesome. I need to use LinkedIn more. My clients are on there. Yes, they are. I love that. Awesome. Yeah, so did you move away from Facebook and purely on LinkedIn now? So no, I'm on both platforms now. Of course, we grow, we expand. I'm on both Facebook and LinkedIn. And I also have some other different ways that I attract clients too. I have a big referral scheme, affiliates. So, I encourage you want to start one platform at a time. And, then you're going to grow. Okay. But like start with one platform. And some people never move beyond one platform. I'm really into a multi-platform strategy, but that's because I'm an online marketer, right? But you just start with one platform and then you go from there. So yes. But, for 2 years, I was just on LinkedIn. I didn't do anything else. And I made, like, $500,000, like literally just on LinkedIn, organic strategy. That's it, right? No ads. So, it's very profitable when you have no ad spend. So yeah. Awesome. Yeah, Lisa's saying you can track B2B and B2C using different posts. Absolutely. Yvonne's saying, I love the professionalism on LinkedIn. A lot of people say that, Yvonne. Yeah, and it's professional, but it's also authentic too. Yeah. Business posts, I post on my business page of LinkedIn and then repost my private profile. Is that the best method? So just going to quickly answer this question. So if you are trying to get followers for your company page, then if you repost the post that you put on your company page onto your private profile, then that's the best method to be able to get followers for your company page, so long as you are actually growing your connections on your personal profile, or you already have built up an audience on your personal profile. Okay, so that's my take on it. But if you're a solopreneur and you haven't really built up your connections on your personal profile yet, I would just post straight onto your personal profile and not worry about posting onto the company page and then reposting it, because you'll get more traction that way. You'll get more engagement on your content if you just post directly onto your personal profile. But we are going to cover more on content towards the end of the 5 days on this challenge. So there's going to be a ton more on that. Amazing. Awesome, guys. Well, this has been great. Well, look, I can't wait to see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow's daily task, we are diving into your LinkedIn profile and looking at creating your headline. So I will be here bright and early tomorrow morning. I can't wait to see you then. You've done so good. If you haven't completed the first day's daily task yet, there's still time. Go and get on with it now. Go and have a go, because my team is still around. We're going to be able to give you feedback, give you support. I can't wait to see what you create. All right, guys, I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now.